Hello everyone, welcome back to our 500 LeetCode Problem Challenge. In today's video, we're going to tackle another classic problem that often appears in coding interviews and competitive programming, the two-sum problem from LeetCode. The problem is as follows. We have been given an array of integers, nums, and an integer, target, and now our task is to find the two numbers in the array that add up to the given target. The goal is to return the indices of these two numbers, and you can return the answer in any order. So now let's look at an example to make things clearer. Let's say we have an array nums that contains some numbers in it, and we have a target number set to 9. Now our goal is to find the two numbers from the given array whose sum is equal to the target value, which in this case is 2 and 7, and then return the index of these two numbers. So the output that we can expect from this example is 0 and 1. So now let's see the detailed solution for this problem. Firstly, we create a class called solution. Inside this class, we define a method called toSum. This method takes in two parameters. The first is nums, which is the array of integers, and the target value we're looking for. And now we will create an empty dictionary to store the number and their indices. And then we will use the for loop with the enumerate function to iterate over the elements of the nums array. Here, the enumerate function is used to iterate over the nums array while simultaneously keeping track of the index and the value of each element. It returns the pairs of index and num for each element in the nums array. So in this for loop, during each iteration, the index will receive the index value of the current element, and the num will receive the value of the current element. And then we set the complement value to the target value minus num. In mathematical terms, the complement is the value needed to complete the sum to reach the target. If num is 5 and target is 10, then the complement would be 10 minus 5. So if we add num and complement, we get 5 plus 5, which is equal to 10, which matches the target. And then we use the if statement to check if the complement value is present in the num to index dictionary. If complement in num to index, it will return a list containing the index of the two numbers. So if the complement is in num to index, it means that the current number, when added to a previous number encountered in the array, results in the target value. In other words, we have found a pair of numbers that add up to the target sum. And if the complement is not present in the dictionary, then we add the current number and its index to the dictionary. And in case there is no solution present in the array, then we return the empty list. So now let's test our solution with a different example to see if it's working as we expected. So first, let's create an instance of the solution class. By creating an instance of the class, you can then use the toSum method to find the solution for specific inputs. So let's create a nums array that contains some integers, and then set a target value to 9. And then we call the toSum method of the solution instance with the provided inputs, nums and target. And now if we run the program, then you can see we are getting the index value of the numbers 2 and 7, that is 0 and 1. And now if we change the array and also set the target value to 6 and again run the program, then you can see we are now getting the index value of the numbers 2 and 4. So by running our program on various test cases, you can see that our code works without any errors. The output for each example matches our expectations, and we successfully find the index of the two numbers that add up to the target sum.